At 30,000 feet, you are traveling faster than the speed of sound. The ground below you is a blur. The sky above you is black. And, in your cockpit, a machine worth $100 million is responding to your every move. You are not driving it. You are wearing it. In the next 4 seconds, you will make decisions that would take a normal person 4 minutes. One wrong move, and you become a fireball visible from 30 miles away. This is not a video game. This is not a movie. This is the reality of being a fighter pilot. The most technically demanding, psychologically brutal, and physically punishing job in all of aviation. Only 1 in 100 candidates who attempt fighter pilot training will ever sit in a combat cockpit. So what does it actually take? What does your life look like? From the day you decide you want to fly, to the day you become an ace, this is your life as a fighter pilot. Most fighter pilots will tell you they knew before they were 10 years old. Something about the sound of a jet overhead. Something about the way it disappeared into the sky before your eyes could even track it. That feeling, that pull toward the sky, never goes away. But wanting to fly and becoming a fighter pilot are two completely different things. Here is what nobody tells you when you're a kid, staring up at the contrails. To even be considered for fighter pilot training, you need a near-perfect academic record. You need exceptional vision, 20/20 or correctable to 20/20ths. You need to pass one of the most demanding physical examinations in medicine. You need to score in the top percentile of military aptitude tests. And after all of that, you haven't flown a single mile yet. The selection process exists before the training even begins. Because the military knows something that most people don't. The most dangerous thing about a fighter pilot isn't the enemy. It's the pilot himself. A poorly trained pilot in a $100 million aircraft is more dangerous than no pilot at all. So they filter hard. Of every 1,000 people who apply, only about 50 will make it to primary flight training. And of those 50, only a handful will ever touch a combat aircraft. The dream is free. The reality has a price most people are not willing to pay. Assuming you made the cut, your first day of flight training arrives. And it is nothing like you imagined. You don't start in a jet. You start in a propeller aircraft. A small, basic trainer that feels almost insulting after a lifetime of dreaming about supersonic flight. But this is where everything begins. You will learn the fundamentals. Takeoff, landing, navigation, emergency procedures. You will fly in rain, in wind, in conditions that would ground most civilian pilots immediately. And you will fail, repeatedly. The instructors are not there to encourage you. They are there to find every weakness, every hesitation, every mistake, every moment of panic, and either fix it or use it to wash you out. Because here is the truth about primary flight training. It is not about learning to fly. Every student who gets this far can fly. It is about learning how you respond when everything goes wrong at the same time. Engine failure at 500 feet. Navigation systems offline, weather closing in, and your radio cutting out, all at once. In that moment, the difference between a fighter pilot and a civilian pilot becomes absolutely clear. The civilian pilot panics. The fighter pilot gets quiet. That calmness under catastrophic pressure. It cannot be taught in a classroom. It can only be tested in the sky. The students who survive primary training move on to the next phase. The ones who don't go back to the ground and wonder what might have been. Now the real training begins. Your first time in a jet is unlike anything you have ever experienced. The moment the afterburner kicks in, you are not sitting in a seat anymore. You are being thrown forward by 20,000 pounds of thrust. The runway disappears in seconds. And in under 2 minutes, you are at 15,000 feet. Welcome to Advanced Jet Training. Here, you will learn everything that separates a pilot from a weapon. Air combat maneuvers, the art of turning, climbing, diving, and positioning your aircraft to kill before you are killed. Every second of every maneuver is calculated. Altitude, speed, angle, energy. Get it wrong, and you hand your enemy the advantage. You will learn about G-force. At 9G, 9 times the force of gravity, your body weighs over 1,500 pounds. The blood drains from your brain toward your feet. Your vision tunnels. Then goes gray. Then goes black. This is called GLOC, G-force-induced loss of consciousness. It kills pilots. So you wear a G-suit. You learn the AGSM, the anti-G straining maneuver, a specific breathing technique that keeps blood in your brain. During extreme maneuvers, you practice it until it is as automatic as breathing itself. Then comes night flying. There is no horizon at night. No visual reference. Just instruments and the absolute trust that what they are telling you is true. Spatial disorientation kills more pilots than enemy fire. Your brain tells you you are flying straight. Your instruments tell you you are in a dive. You must trust the instruments. Every time. Without question. Even when every instinct you have says otherwise. The students who graduate advanced jet training are no longer students. They are pilots. But they are not yet fighter pilots. Combat training is where pilots become warriors. This is where you learn to kill. Not in the abstract, military sense, but in the precise, calculated, technical sense of finding a target, locking on, and eliminating it before it eliminates you. Beyond visual range combat, firing missiles at targets you cannot see with your eyes. Only your radar knows they are there. Only your systems can track them. You fire at a dot on a screen, and somewhere 30 miles away, an aircraft ceases to exist. Close-range dogfighting. This is the Top Gun world. 2 aircraft. 1 sky. Turning, rolling, climbing, diving. Each pilot trying to get behind the other. The one who gets there first wins. It sounds simple. It is not. A dogfight at 500 miles per hour. Inside a 3-mile radius, where every decision takes milliseconds, is the most intense human experience short of actual combat. Your body is being crushed by G-forces. Your mind is processing radar, altitude, speed, weapons, fuel, simultaneously. And somewhere behind you, there is another pilot trying to put you in his crosshairs. You also train for ground attack missions, precise strikes on targets below, while anti-aircraft systems try to shoot you down from above. And you train for the scenario nobody wants to talk about. What happens when you get hit? Ejection seat procedures, survival training, evade and escape. Because sometimes, despite everything, the mission goes wrong, and the pilot must become the survivor. After years of training, the day finally arrives. You deploy. Your first real mission is nothing like training. In training, you know the scenario. You know the parameters. You know what is expected. In combat, you know nothing except your objective and the people counting on you to complete it. You might fly close air support, circling above friendly ground troops, ready to strike enemy positions at a moment's notice. Below you, soldiers are in contact. They need you, and the margin for error is 0. A mistake at 500 miles per hour does not discriminate between enemy and ally. You might fly combat air patrol, guarding airspace, intercepting threats, being the invisible shield that keeps everything below you safe. Or you might fly a strike mission, penetrating enemy airspace at low altitude and high speed, avoiding radar, avoiding missiles, delivering precision weapons onto a target, and getting out before anyone knows you were there. Every mission ends the same way, with a debrief. Every decision analyzed. Every mistake identified. No ego. No excuses. Just cold, honest assessment of what happened and what needs to be better next time. Because in this profession, next time might be tomorrow. Back at base, you eat. You sleep. You call home if the time zones allow it. Your family asks how you are. You say fine. You don't tell them about the mission. You don't tell them what you saw. You don't tell them how close it was. You just say fine. And you mean it. Because tomorrow you have to go back up. Nobody talks about the cost of this life. Your body takes punishment that accumulates over years. The G-forces compress your spine. Fighter pilots are statistically shorter at the end of their careers than when they started. The vertebrae compress that much. Your hearing degrades. Your joints suffer. And the mental load, the constant alertness, the hypervigilance, the inability to fully switch off, follows you home. The divorce rate among fighter pilots is significantly above average. The relationships that survive are the ones built on a foundation of extraordinary understanding. A partner who accepts that the sky will always be part of who you are. And yet, ask any fighter pilot if they would do it again. Every single one says yes. Not because they don't understand the cost, but because they have experienced something that no amount of money, no amount of comfort, no civilian life can ever replicate. They have flown faster than sound. They have touched the edge of space. They have been tested beyond every limit they thought they had, and discovered that the limit was further than they ever imagined. From the kid staring up at contrails to the pilot whose contrails others stare up at, that journey takes years. It takes sacrifice most people will never understand. It takes a kind of obsession that doesn't switch off. Not in training, not in combat, not in sleep, but the men and women who complete it, who survive every cut, every washout, every near miss. They don't just become pilots. They become something rarer. They become proof that the sky has no ceiling for the ones willing to pay the price to reach it. If this video showed you something you didn't know, subscribe, because next week we're going inside the unit that operates where fighter pilots can't even follow. Drop a comment. Could you handle the G-forces? See you in the next one.